for showing what's happening in the pavilion and what's happening in the corresponding country. Of course, the applications are several, and we can discuss together in the next months what type of application we can have with the usage of this satellite communication. Just to give you an example, land monitoring, agricultural situation, touristic information, every type of additional communication and information can be delivered thanks to this satellite system. And again, this is a service that we can deliver to each country, to each pavilion. Another tool for edutainment is to extend the experience of the theme fruition also over time. And we can, for example, establish a time trip using eyeglasses and the combination of a real world with a virtual world, which means that we can create in certain places of the smart cities sectors where with the usage of the smart glasses and electronic sensors, we can create this type of experience. Let's see it. Mary is starting her time trip. First of all, we will use the technical solution which is called haptic, which is the understanding of the movement of the body of Mary. And with a combination of eyeglasses, we can create an avatar of Mary. So now Mary first saw a field which was kind of desert, but then she switched on the glasses and there is a trip 100 years ahead, and she sees the change of the crop, the change of the field, which was not desert, but was cultivated. And she can play the avatar. The avatar is moving according to the decision of Mary. Which is again a way for engaging and giving further information about what's happening about cultivations, history of the countries, history of sustainability. Then services. This is a smart city, so we have to be very careful about delivering also what is necessary for the life of people inside the city. Digital signage is extremely important for several reasons, not only queues, but also for people who are not having the smart electronic ticket, for example, because the digital signage can continuously communicate visually, for example, with people, saying where to go, what's happening, suggestions. There will be several forms of the digital signage, not only LED boards, but also interactive boards, LCD like this, where a person can touch, retrieve information, having something. Digital signage will be distributed really in many places around the site. Another necessity is the proximity kiosks. This type of devices are kind of totems, basically, will be used for getting several types of services. For example, for buying a ticket of a restaurant, ticket of a cinema, or for paying a post office bill, every type of private and public service. But the important innovation here is that we will have the interaction between the totem, the kiosk, and the person, not asking the person to go very close as it happens with the NFC technology these days. But we will have the interaction between the person with the smartphone and the kiosk from several meters away. In this way, there will be no bottleneck, no queue, because people can enjoy new services without going there. Of course, when we have thousands of people on the same place, it's a terrible situation. We have to deliver this type of interaction, staying away. And this will be developed through an evolution of NFC, which will allow the interaction of the device with the kiosk staying away several meters. Electronic health is another important topic of a smart city. We will give people who are interested a bracelet which will continuously monitor the fundamental medical parameters of the person with the localization, the precise localization of the person in the site, connected to our infirmaries, and if this person has some problem, this is immediately understood by the doctors, and immediately also in advance we can send people to help him. Again, this is a very important anticipation, but 2015 will be an important service for the public. The telemedicines and the electronic health. And this is again thanks to the communications network, because the communication between the electronic health, the bracelet, and the infirmaries with the doctors is done through the types of communications networks. We will have both physical connectivity, like optical fibers, very wide band optical fibers, up to 100 gigabit per second per fiber, with different access technology, GPON and point-to-point connectivity, but also the wireless networks, starting from the Wi-Fi network, which is the fundamental wireless layer for delivering, for example, the precise metrical localization of people, like in the case of the electronic health, up to 4G. 4G is the next generation of mobile radio, which will be available in 2015 and will be made available to pavilions. Okay, so we will go to each pavilion with optical fibers, and we will give the service of the indoor coverage using both Wi-Fi and 2G, 3G, 4G inside the pavilion. This is very important for allowing the participating countries to deliver what they want according to their strategy. And this is a very important facility. Shelley Sandal mentioned Cyber Exo. The fundamental reason is that the theme is so important that we have to extend to, we have an objective of 1 billion people around the world. And in 2015, this is possible using several solutions. We have to create a special portal of Expo, integrating several functionalities, starting from the 3D realistic rendering of the smart city, streets, pavilions, services, where people around the world can interact for a remote visit, using several tools like the personal computer, the smartphone, or the tablet. Then we have to integrate social networking, because social networking is an important way for engaging people, but also for keeping people connected together. Talking about the theme, discussing about what's happening at Expo. Also through gaming, gamification, it's called gamification by now. It's a way for engaging people through games. And the games will be web games, but also physical games. You are familiar with the Wii platform. That will be an extension, an evolution of the Wii platform. And of course, as the satellite solution that I mentioned before, several channels of communication, from satellite to web to the mobile, Wi-Fi, and so on. Everything will deliver the cyber. So here, Mary is engaging a friend of her, Pilar, in Manila, Philippines, and they are creating the avatar. And these two avatars, so Mary and Pilar, are visiting and enjoying together the experience of the themes and the pavilions in the expo. So we have the possibility of render the streets and the pavilions, having also the possibility of creating the avatars for visiting from remote the content of Expo. So at the end of the day, we need, as you have seen, not just a few technology, but we need a cloud of enabling technology. And the topics are really very different, from electronic health to Internet of Things, to e-payment, to user interfaces, to displays, to virtual reality, to biometrics, to computer graphics, to remote identification and security, and so on. This means that this type of smart city and the technical solutions can be designed and implemented only through a strategy of cooperation, of partnerships with the best companies, industrial companies, with the best in university, the best research centers, not only of Italy but all over the world, of your countries as well, of course. And we need also a very good organization of design and planning. We call this type of approach the cube, where we have to consider three types of customers. Of course, the visitors. Then we have another customer, which are participant countries. And of course, we have also the expo organizing company, which is the third customer. For each of these three customers, the design and organization and planning of the activities has to deliver the experience of before the visit, as we discussed in this presentation. During the visit, we have to manage the visit, and of course we have to manage the cyber visit, the cyber experience. For these three customers, for each of these three moments, before, during cyber, and customers, visitor, participant, and expo company, we have to deliver the facilities of the services for living in the city. We have to deliver the IT systems. We have to deliver the product and services for entertainment, for communications, and so on. Just to conclude, to give you also the indication how we can solve this big problem of having so many systems, so many applications, IT systems, electronic systems, communication systems. We have to use different companies, different institutions, universities, R&D centers, working in parallel together, developing each of these institutions or industries or companies have to develop, for example, for IT, the enterprise systems, the front-end systems, the site systems, in parallel. Project management, ticketing, events programming, everything has to be done in parallel. But then the result of this work has to be immediately available, plug and play. So we will specify the interfaces for the production of these solutions, for these products, for these services. And then, thanks to the introduction of a concept, of a framework, which is called the Service Delivery Platform, all these systems, product and services, with the right interfaces, will be immediately plug and play in the city, in the smart city. So this is very important, because we will also talk with you about how the solutions, services and products have to respect this rule of the game, which is the interfaces, in order to facilitate the plug and play of these things immediately in the smart city. This is very important because in this way we can organize our work and respect the times. At the end, we will have also a legacy. Of course, the fundamental legacy of Expo is the theme, but we will also have another opportunity, which is the legacy of these solutions, of these systems, in order to be immediately usable elsewhere in another moment by other people in terms of systems technical solutions, product and services, and facilities. So everything will be designed and implemented in order to be reused by other events, by other institutions, by other situations in many places of the world. Thank you.